Hey guys. Hi everyone. Thanks for tuning in to another Real Talk on our issues, mental health, mental illness, and mental awareness. I am Sunshine-ANDIE and I'm your host. Thanks for joining me. Please send me in the chat box, please send me where you're joining me from. I'd like to hear. Today, what we are going to talk about is part 2 of 5 steps to loving yourself. These are some really great things that were brought to me, and I have instilled it in my daily routine. But then when I feel like it becomes robotic, then I tend to switch it up a little bit and get a little creative with it. So you can make this your own, but each step, kind of the original tactic in it, just keep that same and then create and make it your own is what I recommend you do. Yesterday we had talked a little bit about how important it is to figure out if you need to go on this journey by yourself, or do you need to take a step back and reflect on that. When you do come to a decision, it shouldn't be a hard decision, because you have to get to the point where you love yourself enough to give up the things and the people, the relationships, and the circumstances in your life that hinder you from your destiny, your purpose, and your goals that you want to achieve in this life. It is never too young to change the way we think, the way we act, and the way we portray ourselves. And some of the things that is so important is for us to have an understanding that this world is just it's a few things. But at this time in our world right now in 2023, it's unpredictable. It is, if you think about all the things that are going on right now in the news and in our world and all the things, there's more bad than good. And we don't hear about enough good. And I think that needs to change. Personally, I want to see real change in this world, want to see real change in our government, want to see real change in people. And I knew that this subject is a sensitive subject to talk about. And I knew that this was a challenge for someone like me. I'm not a psychologist. I'm not a psychiatrist. I'm not a neurologist. I am learning and discovering with tools and steps that were given to me, and research, a whole lot of research. And it has made me feel like I can now share, after being on this journey of wanting better mental health for my life. And it does do something to you when you decide to put yourself first. It makes you think that, well, let me just retrace that. Just let me back up just a second. When you start on this journey and you really start putting yourself first, that's not meaning that you are a selfish person and you don't think about your responsibilities or the other people in your life. No, I'm talking about you are devoting specific times to work through the issues, the problems, the emotions, the trauma with your mental health. That is not being selfish. That's putting yourself first, okay? So, loving yourself. Now, when we talk about loving ourselves, we're talking about loving ourselves enough to transform into the person we really, truly want to be, your future self. What does that look like? And that future self, don't wait till then to act like that person. You start taking the steps now to act like that person, to be that person. Manifest those words into existence. Say, I am my future self. I have the ability to transform, to be everything that I want to be within me. I have my gifts, my talents within me. I am creative. Speaking those things into existence helps you transform the mind where your subconscious and your conscious side are not like this. You eventually get so strong in your subconscious that it rises above and you get so strong in your conscious. Let me rephrase that. You get so strong in your conscious side that your subconscious doesn't rise above, that it breaks where you are balanced. And when you become balanced, you stop yourself before you speak. You stop yourself before you make a decision. You transform your thinking into the most important thing that could ever be about you, is the way we think, the way we feel. Do we act on those thoughts? And what drives us? We have to get down to what drives us, because all my life I had problems, a roller coaster of fear that used to drive my life. It was the captain of my life, and it would drive me to making the wrong decisions, okay? And the easy decisions, and the decisions that weren't challenging, and the decisions that brought me to where I looked back and had more regrets than more achievements. And so when you're driven by fear, you can't use your full potential inside you. There are gifts and talents inside you that you may not even know about when you're driven by fear. When you hesitate, that's when you know you're driven by fear. Now, there's a difference between thinking about something and doing your pros and cons, but taking risks, taking your capabilities and bringing them to the surface to where you are saying that may be a challenge in this particular circumstance, but I'm ready. I'm ready to get into the game. I'm not going to be sitting on the bleachers anymore. I'm going to do something about it. I'm going to take control of this. I will succeed in this circumstance. That's the confidence. That's the reassuring. Keep telling yourself that's exactly what is going to manifest. Okay. All right. Let's get down to the steps, and you can, of course, write these down. I know I had to. When we start our day, there are a lot of very well-known professional psychologists, neurologists, people that have studied the brain know that when our subconscious is the strongest, it's when there's 2 times in your day. It's when you wake up and when you go to bed. So we don't want to feed our subconscious. We want to take hold of it, take control of it, and put it to rest, okay? So it's very good to meditate with however that looks for you in your life, if it's prayer, if it's actual meditation with music, if it's a mindset of just being in a quiet space and breathing. Whatever your meditation style looks like, you can try different ones out, but find that for you. Okay. So instead of what 87% of Americans do, instead of immediately looking for your phone, your technology, your computer, going to that first, I'm talking about right when you step out of bed. When you do that, what you do is you are living in your past. And I'll tell you why you are living in your past when you grab that technology first, when you first wake up. Because you are rewinding your story of all the problems in your life. So as soon as you look at that phone, as soon as you look at everything that happened 12 hours or 10 hours or however many hours ago, and then you have your whole day to plan, that is feeding into the subconscious of living in the past. So don't do that. This is what you should do instead. Don't grab the phone. Leave the phone there because it'll be there when you come back in a half hour, okay? An hour, however long you need to take for you. I always say if you have kids at home, then wake up early and just be non-negotiable with it. And when I say be non-negotiable, say it in your mind. I am choosing this path. I have to be diligent. I have to stick with this plan of waking up early so I can be with myself to show myself that I care, I love myself enough to make these changes manifest into my life. And when you do that, you are really taking control of your subconscious, because our subconscious is the negative part of our brain. Our subconscious feeds into what everybody else is telling us to do, what they're telling us to do. Because everybody wants to give you advice, but really, does it apply for you? You can hear people give you advice, but doesn't mean you have to take it and run with it, okay? So when you do wake up in the morning, I always say that if you practice these steps, wake up, get into a quiet place of meditation. Don't speak a word when you wake up. So for example, if you have to be at work at 8:00, but yet you have to get the kids to school by 7:15, you know that you have to wake up. You know what time is best for you to wake up so you can have a good half hour to an hour to yourself. If that means going to bed an extra 30 minutes earlier the night before, then do it. I will tell you that age limit does not make you different. So if you are older and you feel like you need 10, 12 hours of sleep, you're wrong. Our body is designed to be more in motion than to be at rest. And I'll tell you why. Because we need more motion into keeping the body alive, keeping our fuel of our body going, with putting things in our brain, our digestive system, and being human beings, we do not need 10 to 12 hours of sleep. We need the minimum to the very maximum of 6 hours. And listen, you can do what you feel is best. But if you can get to the point where you are actually utilizing more of your 24 hours, then go for it. I'm saying go for it. Because I've always been able to function better. I kid you not, function better on a perfect 6 hours of sleep, okay? And if I have a lot of stuff on my mind, then I know in my brain that it's going to take something to get me at rest and stay at rest. So I'll turn on my meditation music, whether that's the sounds of nature, a high volume fan, the sounds of, wonderful meditation music. It doesn't matter. I put my headphones on, I lay down. Now, there was plenty of years, plenty. And when I say plenty, I'm talking years and years and years of being so addicted to medicating myself to go to sleep. I've had numerous times in my life where my insomnia was horrible. And because I would stay up for 36 hours and then rest. And it was bad. Because if I had to put in 60, 70 hours to run a business, and then I have to also take care of my home life because I have those responsibilities, it seemed like sleep was the last thing on the list. So I dedicated, and you know what? It's funny because when you get older, you really do enjoy your sleep. But when I say 6 hours at night will be the perfect amount, 5 to 6 hours, seriously, try it and see if you don't get more accomplished throughout your day and you feel more energized. Because when you get too much sleep, the body will be drowsy. You will feel sluggish when you get too much sleep. It takes longer for you to awake. That 1 cup of coffee turns into 2 or 3. Okay? That's the body telling you this, you were at rest too long. Now, I know a lot about sleep just because my expertise with medical massage was when the muscles are at rest, they compact. When you are in motion more, they detach, okay? When they're detaching, that just means that you are getting better oxygen and blood flow through the body and everything's working together, okay? So that's one of the reasons. If you are sleeping too long at night, you are not doing your physical body, your muscles, your joints, your bones, your nervous system, you are not doing them justice. If you want to live a long and prosperous life, I'm telling you, the more you are in motion, the better, the longer your body will be healthy. Okay? So just hear me on this. So when you wake up in the morning, okay, and you're in that quiet space, okay, and when I tell you get in a quiet space, even if it's your closet, make it your own. If you already have a quiet house, perfect. Go to a place. It doesn't have to be dark. You can have a cup of coffee while you're in that. There's no rules on it. You just need to get in a quiet space. So that way you can start learning these steps to love yourself. The meditation that you should be doing is supposed to be uplifting your spirit, uplifting your mind. So that way we can bury and put to rest our subconscious. Because this is what a typical morning will do to most of us. We'll be laying in bed. We'll hit the snooze button a couple times, your phone. And we'll still be like, oh, I don't want to get out of bed. I don't want to go to work. I don't want to do this. I don't. And then you contemplate in your subconscious, okay, well, if I get out of bed here in 15 minutes, Then I have enough time to do this, this, and this, and this, and this. And you go down the list. Okay. Right? Oh, I just need 15 more minutes. No. Get to the point where you want your mental health so healthy and so balanced that it is non-negotiable that you wake up every single morning after 5 to 6 hours, whatever you want to set it at, set your goal and wake up. When you wake up, the first thing you need to do when you get out of bed, of course, we all have to go to the bathroom. That's inevitable. I'm not talking about the inevitable things. I'm talking about when you get in your quiet place, if you feel the need to stretch the body prior to getting into your quiet place, please do so. I personally do, okay? Because I know when my physical body feels good, it will balance with my mind, and my mind is clear. But if your body's aching and hurting because you slept wrong or you've been hitting the gym too hard and you need some water, whatever the case may be, and you're sore, stretching first thing in the morning, that's the best time to stretch those muscles so your body can feel rejuvenated. Then you get that, charge of resilience inside of you. You go grab your coffee, caffeine charge. That is always good. There's nothing wrong with putting caffeine in your body. There are doctors that might say caffeine's bad for you. I don't agree. I have been extremely blessed. And when I say blessed, I am saying this with all of knowing what is my surroundings, my energy. I am extremely blessed that I have good health. And the reason why I have good health and I will continue to have good health is because I do right by my physical body. And I have taught that for over 20 years. Do right by your physical body. Stretching in the morning is one of those steps, okay? And I'll do a stretch show one of these days, and that way y'all know exactly how you're supposed to stretch the body, because a lot of people don't know. And a lot of people stretch right before a workout, and that's not the time to stretch. So you can quote me on that too, because I will tell you it is more effective if you do it right when you get out of bed. Okay, so we want to wake up, get into our quiet space, get into our meditation, and get motivated. So at this time, this should be fueling your mind. We want to fuel the mind, okay? If that's with not only a cup of coffee to kind of alert and wake up the little sparkles that need to start turning on, your light switches all through your brain, okay? And then once we get into that place and we're speaking life into our mind, we are speaking it. So as we hear it, we speak it. So if we're hearing our meditation in the morning, we are speaking it. Hearing and speaking, that's part of it, okay? Once you complete that, then you want to do some really intense breathing before you start your day. Not of breathing of regret, breathing of, oh my God, my day's about to start. What am I going to do? I wish I could stay here forever. No, don't have that attitude. Don't let those thoughts enter into your mind, into your existence. Just don't do it, okay? Say to yourself, I am going to breathe in life in my body. I am going to breathe in happiness in my body. Whatever it is that is positive reinforcement to yourself, you have your own love language, okay? And if you don't have your own love language, start creating your own love language to yourself. So as we are getting up, And as we are completing our meditation time with ourselves and loving ourselves, we are breathing. Inhale through the nose. You feel a sense of calmness when you do really deep inhalations and exhale. And when you are in that state of calmness, you are speaking to yourself. This is going to be a great day. I am breathing in a good life, a prosperous life, a life of abundance, a life of love. Whatever motivates you, breathe it in. And then start your day, and your mind will be clear, where you will start catching when negative thoughts try to enter in. You can stop, have your little stop sign. No, no, no. I choose. I will not. I will. Okay. So one of the things that we are all guilty of this. One of the things that in our love language that needs to be changed is, instead of I want to do, instead of I want this, you change your love language to I will. I want to change my life. I want to change my life. No, I will change my life. I will take the steps to change my life. I will take the steps, be specific, to change my attitude. I will take the steps to change. Change is a powerful word. Change, transform, whatever you want to say. Make that difference. So no more I want to do. That should not even be in your vocabulary anymore. Say, I will do. I will do. All right. Number 2, whenever you are at a place of journaling, I journal at night. So whenever I'm journaling at night, I am writing down everything. And it could be in different columns. Okay. If you want to journal in the morning, go for it. Okay. But let's give attention to when you get into your journaling. The things you need to write down is the things of gratitude first. Okay. What are you grateful for? Ask yourself that. Are you grateful to wake up every morning and be alive? Are you grateful to have a job, to have a family, to have a home? What are you grateful for? Are you grateful that your body can easily get out of bed? Be specific with your gratefuls. If you're not writing down at least 20 gratefuls every single day in your journaling, then you're not doing anything you're just staying the same person. And being in the same and not transforming, you'll never get what I'm talking about. I'm talking to people that want real change, real results, and change the way they think, reprogram the mind. Because when you start changing and you start taking the steps, now you may have a couple of days where you forget to do it, but then do a double take the next day. I'm guilty of it, where I didn't journal every single day. And I just decided, okay, I'm not going to give myself any more room to make this mistake. This is going to be non-negotiable. I finally got to the point where I was tired of being lazy with it. I had to make real change and be 100% honest and 100% honest in my journal. You know, one of the things that we do is we put our focus always on our circumstances before we put our focus on ourselves. And the reason why is because we choose to live by fear. When you're fearless, you don't live by your circumstances. You show up to your life. You show up to everything that is a part of you. You show up to work every day. You put in 110% for your boss, no matter if he thanks you or not. You're doing it for yourself. If you're in a career that is really, truly what you desire and what you do, wonderful. I am so happy for you. I'm so glad that you're in a career that you are doing what you love. But if you're not, and you're miserable with your job, then you figure out what steps you are going to take to be on your journey on a part-time basis, which all of this is, but then maybe have an extra column in your journal saying, I really need to write down the steps of what it's going to take to get me out of this job. What's holding me back? Where's the blockage that's holding me back from getting me out of this job? The job that I don't like. Fear is your number one. Fear that you're not good enough. Fear that you can't get into a different field. Fear that you have to stay. Fear that if you don't, it can destroy your life. Whatever the case of fear, however big the fear, that capital F, fear. Well, I am living proof that when you get out of the state of fear, you will be able to achieve and go after those dreams, those challenges that you have in your life. You know, for over 20 years, I have stayed. Now, granted, I have had a lot of extra side hustles on the side, but my main career has been massage and my clients' needs. Okay. And building that, however that looked like at the time. Because I have been in business for myself. I have worked for other people. I have partnered up with other people. I have done all of it. And there's a lot of areas in it that I have completely failed at because I trusted people that I thought were going to help me get to the next level of success. But their underlying agenda was to pull it out from under me. And if you've ever been in that situation where you put all of your dreams and your goals and you think, okay, my dream is sitting right here. I just need somebody to believe in me. And you're not believing in yourself. You just want someone else to believe in you. Oh, if I just had this person to believe in me, if I just had the bank to believe in me that I can take out this loan. No, I've learned the hard way. Excuse me. I'm so sorry. I've learned the hard way. That does not work. You have to believe in yourself no matter how long it takes and have patience. Now, when I look back, I don't regret my regrets, and I'll tell you why. I used to have a lot of regrets. Oh, this didn't happen for me. Oh, this didn't happen for me. But when it came to my passion, I never regretted choosing this path. I never regretted not being a professional tennis player and decided to have a baby and decided to be a mother. I don't regret that. I don't regret the things that has happened in my past either. I don't regret any of it because it has made me the better, the stronger Sunshine-Andie, moving forward, continuing every day on my journey. And this is where I am supposed to be. All those regrets, all of your mistakes from your past, you will, when you're on this journey, you will let them go. Let them go. Don't hang on to regrets. Don't hang on to your mistakes. They are all lessons, not regrets, lessons. We have learned from that. We have built wisdom. And I may not be the smartest. I may stutter over my words. As you can see, I have imperfections when it comes to public speaking. I'm not the most professional person at it, but I don't give up. I will do this. So whenever you get in that point of knowing and having the awareness that you are living by fear, and you're like, oh, I can't believe I'm doing that. Well, believe it, but don't dwell on it. Just believe it and say, you know what? Skirt. No more. That's when you become non-negotiable with yourself. Non-negotiable attitude is the greatest thing you can have to yourself. It'll drive you to take the challenges you never thought you could do in this life. For whatever reason in your subconscious that would tell you, well, you're not educated enough. You don't know that field. You don't know where to begin. You had a learning disability when you were a kid. You're a slow reader. You're not a very good speller. You rely too much on technology. That's what my subconscious was feeding me when I decided to be a writer. Oh, Andie, all you know is massage. You've mastered that. You need to stick with it. That's not my only purpose. Yes, I am grateful for having the skills to be the best at it, to be the most talented and rewarded in my field. I was very, very grateful. And yes, I still take care of a handful of clients that have been with me a long time. But I don't take new clients. That I officially retired. That path is no longer. I'm on a new path when it comes to having these projects that I'm working on. And let me tell you, I have challenges every day, but man, I love to get in the game and start challenging myself that I can, I will do these goals today. I will achieve 2,000 words today. I will have a sense of writing capability that will come natural to me, things inside of me that I want to say. Always had the gift of gab, and it started as a child. I think just, if logically, if we look at it, you're just born with it almost. You're wanting the attention of others. I was the youngest of 7 kids, so I wanted my brothers and sisters' attention. I wanted to be noticed. I wanted to stand out. I knew that I was unique at a very young age. I knew that I was different. I wasn't normal. I knew that something inside me was different. But all the talents and all the gifts inside me came out at different periods of my life, but I lived with blockage. I blocked a lot of my talents and gifts inside me because I didn't believe in myself. I didn't believe that I was educated enough to be a writer. I didn't believe that I was strong enough and motivated enough that I could actually write a book. But I am. And I'm doing just that. And man, it is a fun challenge every day. Yes, it's hard. Hell yes, it's hard. It is no picnic. But it is so rewarding. And it's going to continue to be rewarding. This is my path. Number 3, very good about loving yourself is being aware of how you react. And I'll give you an example. Don't tell your kids when you wake up in the morning, and I know that people joke about this, but they really aren't, they really do mean it. And it's kind of one of those things where, you shouldn't even let that cross your mind. That's just really, that's pushing them away from you. And that's the psychology behind it. Don't tell your kids, don't talk to me until I am awake or have a cup of coffee or whatever. Don't say that. Because then you're putting you're putting, distance between you and them. You're stopping them from coming to you first when they need you and they have a problem. Don't do that. Their needs are your priority. Okay? So when you react to something that may irritate you, or you may feel that irritation or that frustration inside you, I want you to breathe. However many times it takes for you to calm the mind and you react with love. If your son, daughter forgot to do their homework assignment and you have to be out the door in 30 minutes, react with love. Find the solution with them. It's better to give your kids positive, constructive criticism and be firm with it than to lash out, yell at them, scream at them, cuss at them. Whatever it has been in your past, that is not who you are. Because if you were to lose that baby and you know that baby's going to get shot at a school the next day, you certainly would not be acting like that. We're all guilty of it. It's not uncommon. We grew up with parents that yelled and screamed at us and didn't want to listen to what we had to say. Part of this journey, if you're a parent, is to continue to want to grow and be everything that your parents weren't. Have that desire inside you and say, you know what? I'm going to be the best parent to my kid. I'm going to start right now. I'm not going to start tomorrow. It's not going to be on my list of things to do next week. No, I'm going to start right now because I am aware of my circumstances with my children, and I am going to react in love. That is another non-negotiable strategy you need to have inside yourself. Commit to reacting in love. Be a better listener. Don't interrupt them. Give them their space to talk about what they need to talk about. And let me tell you, kids come to you in the morning time all the time with things that they need. And at those moments is when you can shine as a parent. And when you shine as a parent, let me tell you, that is just going to open those lines of communication to where they are going to trust you. They are going to see the change in you. And they're going to tell you, Mom, Dad, I'm so proud of you. You're just calmer. You seem nicer. You seem like you really, are working on yourself. I'm so proud of you. And when you hear that from your kids, it just makes you want to keep going. Every day, keep going. I am doing this for me so I can be the best example to my children. Even if they're grown and in their 20s, they know. They know. They see it. So being aware of the way we react. Stop, breathe before you react. And then remind yourself that those reactions can impact not only other lives, but it can impact your entire day and set you down a path of, just pure just misery. Nobody wants that. Nobody wants that. I don't want that for you. I want to share with you the tools that I have taken that has actually worked, that I've seen results, that I know in my heart that these are the things that are working. These are the steps that are actually transforming me into this better, more talented, more gifted human being. I know my purpose now. I know what my destiny is. My purpose, my destiny is clear, crystal clear, because I started taking the time to learning the steps, and it takes time. I'm not saying this is going to happen in 7 days. Hell no. It does not happen in 7 days. Why don't you try 70 times 7? Okay? But once you start feeling it in your gut, wow, this is actually working. Doesn't hurt to do that either. It helps. You know, one of the reasons why I didn't start this journey of wanting to speak about mental health and illness and awareness is because I did want to research. I did want to get to the position where I was able to share. So it took time. But I know that as I'm sharing, if I could just reach one person, then that's what is worth it to me. It's worth it to me to help somebody see that there are these steps towards transforming and changing the way you think. And it will create such a drive in you when you start seeing the changes, you will stick with it. You will be more goal-oriented. You will have an entrepreneur spirit. You will drive towards each and every goal. If you don't know your dreams and your goals, you need to write them down. What is it that you've always wanted to do? Write it down. How is it that you really want to parent? Write it down. This is why you journal. If it's a topic that you're asking yourself, write it down. Number 4. Make your goals and stick to them. So when you write your goals out for the day, write 5 goals. If you get all 5 done, write 5 more. Okay? Write your goals out for your day. Daily. This is daily. Just like breathing, that's how it should come to you. Write your goals out for the day. The things that you want to achieve, not your responsibilities. Okay? Don't write out, I got to pay the water bill. I got to pick up the kids. I got to take a shower. I got to brush my teeth. That's not what we're talking about. We're talking about what you want to achieve that day to manifest really good balance in your mental health, in your mind. What do I want to achieve today? What does that look like? Write it down. Okay. I say 5 because you're starting a new journey. Okay. So say 5. But man, there's been days where I wrote out 20 and I only got 5 of them done, but I wasn't discouraged because I just kept going until they got done. That's when we start showing up for our lives. Do you ever feel like, gosh, all I'm doing is working, paying bills, sleeping, getting up, doing it all over again? It's because you're not showing up for your life. That starts with the mind. It starts with our thought process. Show up for your life. However that looks like in your own life, However that looks like, show up for it. Be a doer. We're not going to sit here and pretend that if we talk about it every single day that that's going to be the change. No way does that work. We're taking the bad behaviors and the bad decisions and transforming our mind, our thought process, so we will have good behavior and make good decisions. You know, the one thing that I've struggled with the most is patience, because I figured out the reason why I was so impatient. And it took a long time for me to come to the realization that I had this huge problem of being impatient. And I hope some of you, can relate to this. What I had discovered is that the reason why I was so impatient is because I did not believe in my self-worth, my ability to do the work. Because if I was patient, I would have been the doer instead of just talking about it and saying in conversation, oh, I really want to do this someday. Oh, I really want to do a 5K marathon. Oh, I really want to, have my own business. I want to be my own boss. Oh, maybe one day. It's a lazy mentality. It's a lazy way of thinking. What is so wrong with you wanting that and being a doer? Do something about it. Speak it into existence. Write it down. That's when it feels real. Like, this is real. I'm actually going to do this. I had one of my very good colleagues, very strong practice, chiropractic care. When he was in chiropractor school, one of his instructors had told him that he was very good at being with people. He had very good people skills and being in the public, and he's good with explaining all the steps and so forth. But he wasn't strong at the administration side, that he needed to focus more on that, all the back office stuff that you have to do when you have a practice. So at that time, he thought in his mind, well, I don't really care what this teacher is telling me. I'm just going to hire somebody to do all that. I don't have to do all that. And that's the attitude he went into starting his practice. Well, years later, he had told me that years later, when he just hired that person, actually it was several people, and to run a full department, to run the back office, to do all the paperwork, do the payroll, do all the medical side of it, reach out to the insurance companies, collect the money, that because he chose not to learn it whatsoever, those people ripped him off behind his back. He had no clue, because all of a sudden it just happened overnight. Patients started not showing up. Patients started calling, complaining, and they covered it up for months. He couldn't figure out what was going on, why it was defecting, why it was suffering in that area. Well, that area needs to be just as strong as your actual being with your patients and practicing. So he told me that he finally figured out what they were doing. He had to press charges. He had to get the law involved. And it was so difficult because he had to stop what he knows he's good at, what he's already mastered, what he has the gift for, is doing the actual chiropractic care of the body. Okay, the adjustments, all the education that you have to do with your patients. Okay, he was brilliant at it, mastered it. When he had to put what he knew, it put him in a state of fear that he shut down his practice because he was so much in a state of panic. He couldn't trust nobody. He thought, this is it. My career is over. I don't know what to do. I don't know where to begin. Who do I trust? All based on fear. He started drinking. He started doubting himself. And then he started doubting what he mastered, what he already knew he was good at. It was already set in stone. He already had the roots. The trunk was already in development. He was growing his branches. He started doubting what he already mastered. Maybe I'm not really that great. Whatever he was telling himself. And then he woke up one morning. He knew that this wasn't going to work. He decided to take the steps, make the changes. I'm a huge believer in motivational gurus, okay? Motivational gurus out there like Tony Robinson, okay? For example, I'm just giving you one example. If you ever listen to his podcast, if you ever listen to him on YouTube, if you ever just hear 20 seconds, you get just chill bumps because you get so motivated. You're so driven. And so when this guy thought his whole world was crashing down on him because his practice was closed and he didn't know what to do and everything, and then he started doubting himself, doubting what he knew he was good at. So when he woke up and he decided that, you know what, I'm going to make the change. I'm going to start with myself. He started transforming his love language. He stopped doubting his capability of learning something he didn't want to do. Even years ago, he didn't want to do. There was no desire to learn that side of the business. He got good wisdom from the people that are in his field that have struggled and had to reopen and start all over with no staff, nothing, just a clean slate where he had to know every single part of his business, every single part, and then master every single part of his business. Every single part. Okay. He said it was a period of time that he had to take. He had to let go of what happened. He had to move forward and not be stuck in a neutral position. He had to put it in drive and get back in the game. So he channeled himself. He cleansed his mind. He did a lot of soul searching. He got on the path. He discovered that he could do the steps, listening to our motivational gurus that we have available for us by technology. And he started putting plans in motion. He started acting on those plans. He started changing his love language to himself. I will achieve this today. I will learn how to do medical billing this today. I will learn how to put in appointments for my schedule on this form of software today, step by step by step. When he finally reached about 1.5 years, right at 2 years of having to start from scratch all over, learn how to do it. And this is and this is just pure going in with not knowing, not preparing, just getting good advice from people of business knowledge, feeding into their advice, feeding into the ones that are successful, that have failed. Just because you are successful doesn't mean you haven't had failures. Your failures is what makes you a true successful person. And if he hadn't have failed, he wouldn't have grown his practice from 1 office to 4 offices in the Metroplex, and then got a commercial, was able to tap into other forms of therapy so he could expand his client base by not just chiropractic care, but he incorporated physical therapy, medical massage. He incorporated 2 more big pushes into wellness. He didn't stop. Once he made up his mind, once he said, I may have fallen, but I am choosing not to stay down. I will rise above this. I will do this. And I will start right now. When you get in that mode of just like, okay, I'm going to do it. I'm going to do this and I'm going to do it right now. When your mind is fresh and you're just ready to just start, don't hold back. Let it come out. Write it down. Just start writing down everything you want to do. Write it down, write it down, write it down. Then you'll get it all organized and set in motion. But be a doer. Don't sit on the bleachers. Be in the game. And then you get to the point where once you're in the game, you want to play the game. You want to show up for your life. How great is that? To finally say, I'm living. Oh my gosh. It only took me 44 years to get here. But man, I'm starting to live my life. I'm living my life. I'm being a doer. I'm helping others become doers by just sharing my experience, my roadmap, my journey of what it's going to take. Now, you'll hear this from every coach that has ever coached any athletic team. You will always hear a coach say, it takes dedication, hard work, commitment. And it's true. You can't get around that. There's no easy road to being successful. You will have hard times and challenges, but you will overcome those hard times and challenges that you have faced, that you are going to face. Your future circumstances, manifest over them. That's one thing we can manifest over, is everything that's going to happen to us. Don't live by fear. Be fearless. One of your goals to help transform your mind is to also transform your physical body. Write that down. We'll have another day of discussion about health and preparation and how to transform the body so it can balance with the mind. I'll do another day of that, but not today. Today, we're talking about the 5 steps, okay? And one of the things that we also need to do to love ourselves is to actually get with ourselves, look into a mirror, and say, I love you. I love you. I love you. I love you. Be sincere about it. Don't say something stupid like, I love you, but I don't really like you right now. No, like yourself. Love yourself. Be unapologetic. Do not let negative energy exist around you. Don't let blockages come in. We're trying to break the blockages inside of us. Don't come in and do this. Skirt. That's what I say. No. Not today, Satan. However it looks like to you, the awareness, when it becomes so right here on the tip of our brain, the awareness, that's when we can say no. No. It's not going to happen. You know, I just want to encourage everyone that is listening to please try these steps. When you do these steps, you will start feeling better. Your mind will be clear. Your body will feel better. And you will get a sense of urgency to want to change your mental health. Period. And if you think drugs alone helps change your mental health, it doesn't. Remember, I talked about in the past that medication alone for mental health is just the Band-Aid. It just numbs the problem. You have to be a problem solver for the problem to go away, for the problem to not be your first thing that you think about in the morning, and then last thing you think about before you go to bed. Stop feeding into your problems, your circumstances. You're letting your subconscious take over. You're letting your negative thoughts determine your decision making for that day or that week or for the next year. Stop. Just stop. I'll give you guys an example. This is just, it just goes along with diet. I've always pretty much known what I can and can't eat and what will keep me in shape and what won't. I can work out hardcore, but when I do, I have always in my past had said, oh, I'm working out enough, I can eat whatever I want. Well, that's not the case. I had to figure out what foods, what things that I was putting into my body that was keeping the weight on my physical body in certain areas of the body. When I finally got the results of doing the research, I made a conscientious, non-negotiable decision to manifest that I will achieve this goal and it will not define the way my body looks anymore. So when I figured out that what is it, for so long I thought it was carbs. Oh, if I give up bread. See, I'm not a person that eats a lot of sweets. People will tell you, I don't order dessert. I don't buy desserts. My kids didn't grow up with desserts. I had fruit and stuff like that, but I barely even eat fruit. So I don't crave desserts. Desserts aren't my thing. Soda pop, Cokes, that's not my problem. And all along I thought that it was the carbs. So I would change different patterns, eat my carbs in the morning with like my oatmeal and my breads or my bagel or whatever, eat it in the morning. So when I'm, just constantly moving all day long, I'm mobile. I'm constantly in motion. That's what mobile means. Okay. Then I'm burning and my muscles are still burning. Working out in the morning. I changed that years ago. And that transformed my body into a healthier state of mind. Now, when I gave up alcohol, I started gaining weight. The reason why you would think alcohol puts weight on you, some people it does. Alcohol was my liquid go-to. So I didn't have to eat that night. So I would work all day. I would make dinner for my family. But then I would be drinking my dinner in the process and then passing out. So I didn't eat dinner. So I got very, very thin, like down to where I did not want to be. And it was not good to be that thin. So when I decided to quit drinking, and after the first, 2 years, that weight started coming back on, and I started seeing more of myself, and I started feeling better because I was actually putting the right amount of weight on and actually eating properly again. But then I had to learn, because your metabolism changes. When you cut out alcohol completely out of your life, your metabolism changes, I'm telling you. And then you get this, okay, well, what is it that's I don't want to put on too much weight, God forbid that happens. Don't let me do that, okay? So I figured out what was putting weight on me, and it was dairy. And years ago, I ran into a nutritionist, and she said that is the one thing that people aren't aware of. They always want to cut out the carbs and the sugars, but they don't think to cut out their dairy. Now, this is where it gets interesting. When I said, okay, I'm going to do this. I'm going to do this and it's going to be non-negotiable. I thought, wait a minute. That means coffee creamer. Holy shit, I can't give up my coffee creamer. I live for my coffee. No. You can give up coffee creamer. You can give up cheese. And cheese, oh my gosh, all the organic and very, fancy cheese and the stinky cheese and all the cheese I was addicted, highly addicted to. I would have cheese with almost every single meal. Some form of cheese. Put cheese on everything. Cheese, cheese, cheese. Cheese it, cheese it, cheese it, cheese it, cheese it. But then I made a New Year's resolution. And it was, okay, got to make a New Year's resolution. This is what it's going to be. I am committing myself to continue the path of not having dairy in my life. So you may ask the question, well, how did you do it? Well, it was effing hard. Believe me, I used to eat a bowl of cereal in the middle of the night if I woke up, starving, a bowl of cereal. I had to take that away from me. All dairy, no dairy, no dairy. Because it puts weight on me. Now, I have found products that are supplemental, lactose-free, non-dairy products. And yes, those have been okay. But is it the same? Hell no, it's not the same. I used to put cheese on everything. Of course it's not the same. You know what I do now? I put nuts or, a vegetable on top, fresh veggies on top, avocado. God, have I really changed my diet with avocado? Things like that. I used to be a big mayonnaise girl, but no more. No more mayonnaise. No more ranch dressing. No more things that make you love dairy. And cheese. Oh my God. Milk products, cheese, ranch dressing, mayonnaise. I can go on and on and on. But these things were killing my insides. Literally from the inside. Storing fat in different areas of my body that the gym alone couldn't hit. And trust me when I tell you this, you can take the easy road out and go get plastic surgery and get this sucked out and get this sucked out and get this sucked out and get this sucked out. Do contouring of the body. You could do all of that. You could spend all the money, or you can save money, cut out your dairy, and it's just one more goal you can check off your list and be like, can't believe I did that. Look at me now, This is great. I feel fantastic, So when I'm in the gym, I have more energy. So it brought down my energy level of having dairy in my life. I would immediately feel tired after eating even a small meal of dairy. Okay. So maybe want to just go into a nap. It prevented me from having any symptoms of diabetes because it is very strong. It runs in both sides of my family. And it also transformed the shape of my body. Healthier. Made my skin glow. Never had good skin all the time. knock on wood, always struggled with acne. Okay. But when I cut out dairy, completely transformed my skin. Hair grows, nail grows, all that. Now, yes, you guys know that, well, let me just tell you, this isn't all my hair, but yesterday I did do a video where I just had my hair, but it is growing. Now, I've worn extensions for the last 13, 14 years. So don't be alarmed if you see long and short and all that. Okay. So, but it's who I am and it's what makes me happy. So don't be a judger. Be a lover. That was one of the hardest things I had to do, was cut out dairy. Because food makes you feel good. You're like, oh, I love myself so much because I got this food. Well, you love yourself more when you can prolong your life and you have more energy to do your workouts. You have more energy to get your creative thinking flowing. And you don't have to feel that you have to be at rest. Now, sure, you can take a nap. Of course you can take a nap. But I wouldn't do it right after you eat. The people in my life know that I have a routine. They see it now. They see the transformation of the routine. So after dinner, it is not about taking a nap. After lunch, it's not about taking a nap. There's no way. I have to be moving. One of the things that I learned years ago is stand up when you eat lunch. I know it sounds crazy, but it works. When you stand up to eat lunch, you eat less of your food. You inhale or you digest more of your water, and you have more energy. If you sit down for lunch, by 1, 2 o'clock, you're going to feel sluggish and tired, and because you're not moving. You're not moving. Once you fuel the body with food and water, you need to move, 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 move. Whatever your movement looks like, do a dance-a-thon. It doesn't matter. Who cares what people think? Just move the body, okay? Now, I know a lot of you guys skip breakfast. We can go into a whole subject of that. I'm not going to even get into that. I'm going to bypass that. Skirt! I'm not going to even talk about that. We're not going to talk about breakfast because that's a whole program in itself. But what I wanted to show you, if you guys were wondering why, how could you dairy? You need strong bones. You need calcium. Well, that's what this is for, okay? Each day I take my vitamin supplements, and then it comes with, because I'm very OCD and organized, it comes with full balance, calcium chewy, okay? Got the right amount of calcium in this one chewy, okay? Great flavor. You can buy them everywhere. You can take a supplement. All right? Vitamins and supplements are what is necessary to changing also the way we feel, the way we think, so it can come and balance each other out. Because if you're feeling like crap because you don't eat right, you don't drink right, you're not taking in enough water, you're not exercising, you're not being mobile, you're sleeping too much, your metabolism goes down. To restore the body is to put better health in it. No matter your age, you need to be taking supplements, vitamins, things to nourish. This is your love to yourself. This is how you eventually will get off your medication that band-aids the problem. Right here. Now, I am not perfect by any means, but I have figured out the formula that works best for me with trial and error. Okay? Trial and error. You know, something that my mom, I was so proud that she, even though she had a weight problem, she had a problem with food, she never had a problem with taking her vitamins. And I believe that's the reason why she had strong teeth and they always looked great up until she died. She had strong, bones, and she, had great skin. And, my sisters and I, we've aged differently, of course. Okay. And I am one to do things to help improve the aging process. But when you are a white Caucasian female above 40, you do things to stop the age process. Well, the best thing you can do to stop the aging process is you take vitamins and supplements and work that from within. The ones that give you natural collagen, the ones that improve cells, restoring cells in the body, will transform your skin. Okay. So this needs to be a part of your life. And if you think that you're too young to have a pill pack like this for your vitamins and supplements, don't let this discourage you and think, oh, that's just for old people. No, that's for everybody. It doesn't say, there's not a section that says, oh, 65 and older, come get your pill pack. No, this is part of your routine. You want to get healthy? There you go. And that should be non-negotiable as well. It really should. Taking your vitamins, your supplements every day, however form your supplements look like, if it's powder form, it's protein, if it's, pre-protein right before your workout, whatever it is, part of your supplements, but your vitamins to restore, to put back, I'll tell you this. The average massage therapist only stays in practice 4 years. I added 20 to it. And the reason why is because I started taking care of my body with my vitamins and my supplements at a very young age. So when my career began, my bones, my muscles, my body was strong. Glucosamine is one of the best, if not the best, joint support supplement that you should be taking every single day. And you need at least 600 milligrams or more, depending on your size. And you should be doing that in your teen years. Because as an athlete, I had to do the things that I had to do in order to maintain my health. Okay. So, saying all that, and I know I got off track and I tend to ramble a little bit, but if you stick with me, I promise I'll get stronger. I will get shorter videos. I will do inspirational quotes. I won't be doing videos every day because I do have projects that I'm working on with work, the work side of my life. But I'm also living my life. All right. Listen, take time every day. Tell yourself you love yourself. Look in the mirror. Say, I love myself. I will be my genuine, true self. And if you don't know who you are, it's a discovery road for you. Seek professional help. They will give you the tools and resources to tap in to who you really are, what you're about, what you like, what sets you off, what makes you angry, what makes you drive for this goal. A therapist can help you with that. And I highly recommend therapy. And if you allow your circumstances and your problems to dictate your life and you are not living your life, you're not showing up for your life, you need to seek help. Because I didn't do this without the guidance of a professional and the steps and worked the steps. Okay. If you can't afford mental health care, trust me, I know how expensive it can get. Find the resources in your community that will do the things that you need to do. Here in Texas, we have a program called MHMR. You can tap into that to get the resources to get free psychiatric care or low cost psychiatric care. Okay. You could go to JPS Hospital in Fort Worth if you're local. Hospitals have resources that you can tap into. You just have to do the research. You have to find. But in your community, if you are surrounded by a metropolitan area, you will have some form of resource. Okay. And most everybody in their communities will have programs for certain emotions, certain traumas, grief. I go to a group meeting every single week and they hold it 3 times a week, but I go once a week. In the beginning, I didn't. I went twice a week. But now I go once a week and I show up. And these are the people that I'm surrounded with that have lost loved ones, just like myself. We share our stories. We comfort one another. We are accountability partners with one another. Okay? There are resources. Stop telling yourself, I can't afford it. I can't. Stop telling yourself all the things you can't do and transform your love language into saying, I can and I will. Thanks for letting me share, guys. Real talk with Sunshine Andy. Bye, guys.